The competitive edge of Lakeville North's athletic programs is drawn from its active participation of students in co-curricular activities. But an increased activities fee, meant to counterbalance the district's limited funds, has challenged this strength.
With the loss of the levy referendum, we had to look at cutting somewhere between $1 and $1.5 million this first year, and then we will have to be looking at cutting more next year depending on what the board decides to do with another levy referendum question.
On February 12th, the school board passed an increase of over 50% in the co-curricular fee, making Lakeville's the highest in the Lake Conference.
The first adjustment that we are recommending would go into effect in the spring of 2008, and that is a co-curricular fee increase of $80 at the high school level and $50 at the middle school level, which would generate approximately an increase of $80,000 in revenue.
The result is the $230 price tag to participate in athletics, which could affect student involvement in sports this spring.
I think we're going to lose some students when we get up to the point of $230 per sport. I think it comes to a point where students are going to, or parents are going to say, we just can't afford this.
You know, coaching track, I think we'll get a hit. You know, I think kids come out for track and field to get in shape for other sports. So if it's not a primary sport, they might bypass it.
That's one of the board's primary concerns, losing participants.
So we have requested that that be monitored and that we get a report back following this to see what impact it does have. And if it's something that concerns us, we do need to figure out a solution to that.
If students can't afford the new fee, there are other ways to make sure they get game time.
There's going to be a policy in place. In the past, if a student and or their parents would come to us and say, we just can't afford it, would you waive our fee, or will there be a scholarship in place for you? We were able to do that.
Our district, our co-curricular and activities directors and those programs would work closely with the booster clubs to make sure that the kids that want to play are able to play.
Even though there are ways to get around the increased fee, many are still wondering why the activities fee was hit rather than anything else in the Lakeville School District.
That's what our focus was on, was how to keep providing those educational programs, and so by raising the athletic fees was it. And you know, the other alternative we could have done was eliminate some of those programs, and we just didn't want to do that yet. We weren't there.
And with the extra money, the district will buy new technology as well as pay for the teachers and staff that keep the community going.
We're just really trying to find out the best way to provide the educational resources with the available dollars that we have in our district, and it's getting tougher and tougher.
Hopefully keeping up with Lakeville North's competitive edge will prove worth the cost of participating.